What's up, everybody? It's your girl Marisha LaShay, and I'm so happy to be here before you guys this morning. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. Second, go ahead and clap it up, give it up, stand up, because this is season 6 of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. And man, when I tell you, that is something. Definitely appreciative for this moment, for God and all that He's doing in my life. June has been an amazing month, but of course, we know that it's another month sneaking up on us. Well, it ain't sneaking, it's letting us know that it's coming. But hey, you know what I mean. So, what I would like to do is to go ahead and just give a shout out to my support system, give a shout out to my listeners and my viewers. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys for all that you guys do as it relates to me. Also, be on the lookout for my ebook dropping on June 30th. I just wanted to throw that in there before I forget because I have a tendency to forget. Second, what I would like to go ahead and do is to give you my story of how I got started with podcasting. And of course, it started from two suggestions from my father during a morning meeting in November of 2020, which was during the pandemic. So his first suggestion was when I came to him about wanting to, do something like this. I didn't even know what a podcast was, but he suggested that I get in front of an audience so I could share my thought provoking ideas, comments, and questions. After I did that, my choice of sharing with my audience was Facebook Live. So, of course, over a period of time, I continuously to keep, doing it and, just kind of building a presence and just, getting myself out there repeatedly, posting every day. I remember when people wouldn't even like my stuff. I remember when, man, people would just scroll on by or I'd be like, oh, okay. But it grew me, right? It gave me a tougher skin. It gave me that, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going regardless. I'm going to keep going until people began to notice me. And it's still my same mentality and it's still my same wave. Second suggestion is he said, you don't have to do this every day, but you could do it in the months that have 30 days. That way you'll have 30 episodes that are equal a season. So I tried that suggestion too. I ran with that. And I showed up in the months of November. I showed up in the months of April. I showed up in the months of June. And I also showed up in the months of September because those are the 4 months out of the year that have 30 days. I thought it was very clever. So that would give me, ample time to be able to write, come up with different themes and things like that. So I was like, okay, perfect. And that's what landed me here in season 6. That saying yes and running with those two suggestions changed my life and changed the trajectory of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay because that is when it was born. Most of the time, when you create something, I know with a baby, it takes 9 months to create, but sometimes the key word of creating something is just to start. And when you start, then you just continuously to keep going. You keep pushing. You keep persevering because everybody's not going to know you right off the bat. You're not going to hit a video and go viral. You can, but depending on what you're doing. All right. So moving on from that, I want to go ahead and move on to the next part of the show. And that is when we talk about how we're feeling at the start of our day. And that is going to be called a check-in, a mental check-in, which is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of your life, 10 being the best day of your life. Can I be below a 1? Of course. Can I be above a 10? Absolutely. Nobody could really tell you how you are feeling as it relates to everything that is going on with you. And with me checking in on today, I am feeling like a 7. And I'm just trying to hit deadlines and trying to get things going on. So I'm just kind of in my work mode and just boom, 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 boom. And then if this don't, I'm just kind of in work mode right now, as I always am. But I know I'm learning to definitely turn it off and get my rest and do what's needed before me. So, with that being said, please feel free if you feel led to share, drop those numbers, drop those emotions, and why you feel the way that you feel. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I would like to go ahead and move on to the next thing. And the next thing coming up, of course, is my goals that I set um, in all of season 6. I got 6 goals. I started off with 2 in celebration of my podcast anniversary, but I decided to expand my horizon as I've been taking the time out to just kind of grow with my brand and unpacking my brand. First goal, of course, is to continuously to keep expanding my listening base. That is my first goal. I would like to reach 1,000 active listeners. I'm currently at 720 active listeners. Meanwhile, second goal is to, of course, expand to many more countries. I already have 12 countries under my belt, but I need to go ahead and lock down 183 more so I could be super, super global. Third goal, that is to be able to expand my listeners and subscribers on my YouTube channel. So with my YouTube channel, it is called Marisha LaShay with the @ 1020. Definitely feel free to check me out. Definitely feel free, if you're not already doing so, to like and subscribe and to share with other people, a friend of a friend of a friend, a cousin, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother, whomever. If you feel led to share, just share me, get me out there. Fourth goal is to go ahead and implement and start those Apple subscriptions and things like that. Right. So that is definitely in the works as we speak. Fifth goal is to go ahead and create kid content. So of course I was supposed to be dropping some things like that did not fall through. And I always like to keep it 100 with you guys, but I'm back to the drawing board of getting more kid friendly content out there, whether it's me doing something with my middle school scholars or something, but it's coming to a platform near you. Be on the lookout. I know I have been talking about it, but things do happen and things do, begin to, change up and just kind of change. That's what I'm just going to say, because that is definitely what happened, because people change, pull out. Hey, I understand. It's summer. Meanwhile, as I continue on, my fifth goal, like I was saying, was to go ahead and actually get the uh the children podcast and content out there. I just gotta go ahead and just provide the truth before you guys, be standing in my truth, owning my accountability. And the last goal was or is to drop digital content, such as ebooks, courses, workshops, trainings, etc., webinars, and merchandise. So everything is coming in different parts as, I am building and working with, other things and collaborations. So it's just like, I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling great. Everything is good. I'm winning just like you. So, with that being said, I would like to go ahead and go into the next phase of the show. And this is what we're talking about today, being day 28 of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. The show will be in effect for the next 2 days. So, definitely continue to keep rocking with your girl. Moving forward, what is the question of the day? It's not necessarily a question, it's more so a comment. So, stop with the yes mess. Okay. So, what do you mean by that? So, over this past summer, of course, I was working at a summer program. And when you're working at the summer program, you meet new people, because this year it was boys, and then it was like 2 schools at one elementary school, Scott and Boyd or whatever. And, we bring in different vendors or whatever to be able to provide different programs for our kids. And I was in sign language class with my students when I heard the teacher say, stop with the yes mess, right? Which is sign language. And of course, I had a permission to be able to, kind of tell you about a yes mess. So a yes mess is, when scholars are getting a little bit unruly or doing things that are not safe, like standing in chairs, moving your chair, fidgeting around, and things like that. But more so, I wanted to get a deeper understanding of what a yes mess is. So a few days later, I began to ask her to tell me more about this yes mess that she speak of, because she always say you catch yourself in a yes mess. And these were the 3 questions that was associated with the yes mess. Could anyone get hurt? Could I get in trouble? And can anything bad happen? Those were the 3 questions that she associated with a yes mess. And I was like, okay, that stuck with me, and it kind of struck me like, wow, okay, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna definitely use that, because I like that. If you know me, I'm gonna take a saying, honey, I'm gonna use the mess out of it, baby. That's why I always have to keep me a catchy phrase because I use it for everything. It is my go-to because and then other people start using it as well. So when she came up with the yes mess, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to come up, with something because I'm like, I don't normally, borrow things from people, as far as phrases, because I'm like, I'm pretty catchy in that department, but I had to get that one, which was coined by Miss Lolita. Shout out to you. But I'm gonna have to come up with something else to add with that because I'm about to wear that out, honey. Because that's it right there. But meanwhile, y'all, make sure that y'all stay out of those yes messes. That yes mess. And remember, could anyone get hurt when you think about what the actual yes mess is? Could I get in trouble? And that we're not only talking about the children, adults, could you get in trouble for what you doing? Arguing back and getting jazzy at the lips at the store with Miss Such and Such would then escalate to a bigger situation because you don't necessarily know what's going through these people's minds. Second, can anything bad happen? When you think about anything bad happen, you talking jazzy or talking crazy, then somebody might pull out the blicky and get loose with their hand. Or let's talk about the previous situation of that just happened with this woman in Chicago at the restaurant. Anything could have transpired. That's why you have to stay out of those yes mess. Okay. You don't go looking for mess. You don't start mess. But if you're over there minding your business, as I always say, then there shouldn't be any problems unless somebody bringing some mess to you. And you have to decide how you're going to actually respond to them. So the message for today is stop with the yes mess. Yes, mess. And before I leave, I did not realize when me working in my middle school that they used a lot of sign language until I started taking sign language this summer with Miss Lolita. It's funny how God could just be preparing you for something and you don't even see it. But that's another story for another day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just a short message coming before you. Stop with the yes mess. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in on another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. It is so good to see you guys. It is so good, so good, so good, and always. But we'll talk tomorrow, same time, same place.